The bricks on this building are made from mushrooms. And no, I am not joking. In the summer of 2014, this 40-foot tower stood in the courtyard of New York's Museum of Modern Art. 10,000 mushroom bricks, stacked into 3 interconnected cylinders rising from one of the busiest cities on Earth. And then it vanished. There was no wrecking ball, no demolition crew. The entire building simply decomposed. 10,000 bricks broke down into nutrient-rich compost, which was distributed to community gardens across New York City. The tower that had provided shade for thousands of visitors in the summer returned to the earth to help grow food for the city's people. This is the Hi-Fi Tower, and it's one of the most revolutionary structures ever built. But to properly understand how they created these living bricks, you first need to understand the incredible reason why. Every year, the Museum of Modern Art in New York hosts a prestigious competition called the Young Architects Program. The challenge is to design and build a massive temporary pavilion in the courtyard of their PS1 gallery. It needs to provide shades, seating, and a central social hub for thousands of visitors during the hot summer months. But this challenge comes with a giant, unspoken problem: waste. Think about it, these are enormous, complex structures, but they only stand for 3 months. When the summer is over, they're just demolished. They become basically architectural ghosts, leaving behind mountains of twisted steel, shattered drywall, and fractured concrete, all of it destined for the landfill. In 2014, the winning group called The Living looked at this problem and asked a simple but world-changing question. What if a building could live and die without a trace? What if you could create a landmark that, at the end of its life, didn't need a demolition crew? Well, that was their mission, to build the MoMA PS1 pavilion with a footprint of zero. Zero waste, zero carbon, zero harm to the planet. But to do that, they needed a material that was strong, that was cheap, and could basically grow anywhere. But more importantly, it had to be 100% biodegradable. Their search for this miracle material didn't lead them to the steel mill or a chemical plant. It led them to the incredible kingdom of fungi. But what is this incredible science of how these bricks were actually made? Well, when you hear mushroom, you probably picture this. But this is just the fruit. The real magic, the part that we never see, is the root system underneath called mycelium. Think of mycelium as nature's glue. It's a vast, fast-growing network of tiny threads that weave through the soil, digesting organic matter and binding it together. It's one of the most powerful regenerative forces on the entire planet. The team at The Living collaborated with a company called Ecovative Design to harness the natural power and turn it into a building material. The process is actually more like baking a cake than firing a brick. The first step is the substrate. They started with agricultural waste. In this case, it was leftover corn stalks from local farms. This material, which would otherwise be just thrown away, was chopped up and became food and structure for the fungus. The second step is the inoculation. They mixed tiny fragments of live mycelium into the corn stalks. This is like adding yeast to flour. They then packed this mixture into brick-shaped molds. Mold as in the shape of the brick, not the fungus. The third step is the growth. The molds were left in complete darkness for about 5 to 7 days. During this time, the mycelium feasted on the corn stalks, weaving an impossibly intricate 3-dimensional matrix. It acted as a living, self-assembling glue, binding all the loose waste into a single solid object. The last step is the final cure. Once the brick was fully grown, which is a weird sentence to say, it was then put through a drying process that gently heats it, which stopped the fungal growth and rendered it a completely inert, stable and safe building component. No 1,000-degree kilns, no vast carbon emissions, no toxic resins or glues. just farm waste and the quiet, persistent power of mushroom fungus. The final product was a brick that was incredibly lightweight, but had the compressive strength of low-grade concrete, was an excellent insulator, and was naturally fire resistant. With 10,000 of these living bricks, the tower rose from the ground. Its design was a direct response to the unique properties of the material. These 3 interconnected cylinders weren't just for looks. It's an incredibly strong shape that efficiently distributed the load, perfect for lightweight bricks. But it was also a machine for comfort. The tower was a giant passive cooling chimney. The gaps at the top, combined with the special reflective bricks lining the roof, created a natural convection current. Hot air was drawn upwards and out, pulling cool breeze through the courtyard below. It was a building that almost literally breathed. When you stood inside, it felt different. The motted, organic texture of the bricks, the dappled light filtering through the gaps, even the faint, earthly smell. The people there said that it felt alive. And then summer was over. The tower's job was done. And this is where the story goes from remarkable to pretty legendary. As I mentioned at the start, there was no wrecking ball, no deafening crash. The 10,000 bricks were simply taken down and transported to a local composting facility. The mycelium and cornstalks broke down, completing their life cycle and turning into nutrient-rich organic compost. The building didn't just vanish, it transformed. The compost was then distributed to community gardens across New York City. The building that had provided shade for a summer in the city returned to the earth to help grow food for its people. It's crazy. It was a perfect, unbroken circle. The Hi-Fi Tower proved that our buildings don't have to be scars on our landscape. They can be part of it. It's a powerful glimpse into a future where our cities could be grown and not just manufactured. What do you guys think of this building material? I've been reading all the comments and it's been amazing to think that I can help create this kind of community of thoughtful people. I've never seen YouTube videos with the quality of comments in them that you've been typing out. So thank you for that. Keep on doing that. It's been amazing. You've actually helped push me to start a project that I've been wanting to do for a while, which is creating a sustainable materials and buildings book. It's something I've been passionate about for ages, and you've just helped me push me over to the edge. So that is in production now, but that won't be finished for a long time. And subscribe if you're interested in more sustainable materials and sustainable buildings. And over here is another sustainable building that you're very likely to enjoy learning about. Thanks for watching.